Hi, my name is Poeartistry. I am excited to welcome you to James Poeartistry Productions. You are tuning into an incredible experience known as Poeartistry Gold, where we delve into the art of commentary, storytelling and poetry. We aim to bring you inspiring and thought-provoking content.
This is a Poeartistry Gold moment by the author James Lynch. Hello, perceptive readers. This is James Lynch, and welcome to Poeartistry Gold number 125. These are some points that I hope to one day enumerate them, like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, so forth. Yet I'm just going to express them not in the order that they probably will be in. And this is the point actually about occupations and work and education and skills and things of that nature. And it's funny because I am actually expressing this because there is one YouTuber that I just really thought about this even more so lately, that I said, man, it's actually been more than several years that I've checked on this one YouTuber who I won't mention their name. And there's been times where I saw where they were going through a lot in their life. And then I've been able to see the great joy of what this YouTuber has been experiencing for several months now, so forth. And so, I was happy to see this. One of the points that this YouTuber actually brought out, though, is he was talking about what different people experience and even what good people experience. And then also the statements that are made about good people who fall into hard times, and how people like to call them lazy in this way or that way or what have you. And he certainly expressed certain points about how he knows that's not always the case. And I'm here to relate to you that he's accurate in that matter. See, you'll have to reference my podcast where I used to tell you about what my father used to talk about, what people would do. Not only people, but shame to say, the gold watch that you would normally receive at retirement from different companies or what have you. A nice balloon gratitude of payments and Social Security and everything else that could actually set you up for life. You see, for life. Especially when you start already hitting, believe it or not, even your 50s, you see. Well, a lot of businesses don't work that way anymore. And again, in the line of thinking, calling it progress, they make it seem like that's the way businesses should have gone or should be functioning today, which I say again, it still really greatly shows their lack of gratitude of what a lot of companies have been pushed to make it seem like the bottom line is just the money, okay? Which I'm not going to even argue about that, but I'm just trying to show you again the way that a lot of companies used to work, that they are not even allowed to function in that way of the humanitarian types of ways of viewing people as employees. So even though they use the name family, team, and things of that nature, it is still not really the true spirit of what a family and a team is supposed to be, when it still really boils down to of just making as much money as you can. And if I have to lay you off just to be able to make a profit, not that the business wouldn't keep functioning, but really just so I can make a huge profit, I would do it. So I would basically be taking your salary in order to get that large balloon nest egg that I want. But that's another story in itself too. What I want to still reference is this, along the lines of people trying to get something for nothing. And also the education of people and things of that nature. See, I have to laugh because I've heard persons state at times where they will literally call persons just stupid and dummies and things of that nature. And it's a shame because in this case, I always mention that some of the same people that some of these other individuals would call dummies, I know in a minute from on their education level, you see school books and things of that nature, these persons really do know more than me. And so, when someone else is calling them stupid or dummy, it has something dealing with another area of life. And, I mentioned again about their, it can boil down to the way persons view people. Okay. And so the whole point is this. You can get enough education where you can do something just simple in this way or that way, while another person who just didn't receive their education in that way just won't know unless you tell them. And so let me combine this with the podcast where I talked about, my father saying people will work you to death. People will try to get something out of you, something out of nothing and things of that nature. So my clear statement today in this Poeartistry go number 125, you need to explain clearly and directly the criterion for what you see the job is in this way or that way. Not leaving people to be throwing blows at the wind, wasting their time in this way or that way because you still have some other agenda. And the agenda is to still try to get more out of a person than what they should. I've seen situations where, when it went into the economy and things of that nature, I've seen situations where persons were literally having their paychecks cut in different ways in half. And I still say from my heart, I know it wasn't justified, but it was still based on, if you go to that one page where I talk about small-minded politics that were being played among people and companies. And that's the reality of it. That's my opinion, but I tell you what, I think you do some deep research, you'll find that's exactly what was going on in some of these situations. So when you deal with people having their income or what they were putting already their sweat, blood, and tears into, and then all of a sudden, because somebody want to play the narrative BS games of the year, where all that effort of blood, sweat, and tears they were putting into, they were having their salaries, their income cut for this reason or that, for the same amount of work that they was putting in, then the whole point is, you still better be clear with the criterion of what you want and how the person is going to be paid. Not something that's going to be left up in the wind or in the air and things of that nature, because I told you there are certain social tests and other stuff that people put you through today. And you know what? It's not ethically right that they do it. And I still stand by that. So the point is, some people know they're not lazy. You know what I say? The people who don't want to deal with them directly and clearly and formally, letters and correspondence, they are the lazy ones. They are the ones not doing their job. And I stand before them and I say that because I know it's the fact of the matter. There's too much trying to get over on people and blaming them on it, because it's almost like, no, you're not going to waste my time. You're going to deal with me formally. You're going to deal with me directly. And if you say you believe in God, that's your responsibility to do it. If you say you believe in the Constitution of the United States, I say that's your responsibility to do it. And either person who don't want to do it in that way. If somebody tell you to go to hell, you see what? You're not going to hide behind the Constitution, and you're not going to hide behind God because that person told you to do it. Do what's right. Stop making people have to view the Holy Bible, God, or the Constitution the bad way because of your own laziness, yet you got good money in your pocket. You be clear and direct with the Constitution. You be clear and direct with how people be making their money or what have you, and don't have them wasting their time just so you can get over on them in some other ways of subterfuge. This was a Poeartistry Gold number 125. Take care.